Today's recipe is one of my favorites that I've developed probably all year. It's a caramel stuffed, humongous, chewy chocolate chip cookie. You guys are going to adore it. To start off with, I had 1.5 cups of light brown sugar in my bowl, and I'm adding 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You also need 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. So the brown sugar's there because it adds like moist chewiness, and then you get a little bit of sort of clean sugar flavor, I guess for lack of a better term, by adding the white sugar and also like crunch. So these are chewy in the center and crunchy on the outside if they're baked properly. Add a teaspoon of salt. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. You'll notice probably, you're like, what is she doing? I'm mixing all of my ingredients in the bowl. This is not creaming method like most of our cookie recipes, but it's a reverse creaming method where you mix together all your dry ingredients and then you add your butter to that. So then you just mix all of your dry ingredients together. You're combining everything, you're distributing your leaveners throughout all the dry ingredients, and then you'll add your butter. It's 2 sticks of cold unsalted butter, so instead of room temperature butter, you're using cold butter. Now you want to beat your butter in, and you're just looking to break it down into sort of pea-sized pieces, kind of like you're making a pie crust. But what's also happening right now is that the butter is coating the flour mixture, so you're going to end up with a more tender cookie too. Don't turn it on too high, because if you get it too high, the flour is going to come flying out and then you'll be mad at me. And I don't want you to be mad at me. I want you to be happy. So now all the flour has basically been sort of coated with the fat, and there's some pea-sized pieces left, and that's good. I'm going to add my chocolate chips. It's 12 ounces, which is a full bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can beat that just for a sec on low to combine, and then you can add your eggs. It's 2 large eggs. Go ahead and use my butter bowl. 1. 2. And then a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. That's it. Batter is done. What you're gonna do is scoop 1/3 cup at a time. Yes, it's a lot. Yes, you can make them smaller. And then make a little hollow in the center because you're going to stuff these with caramel. I'm using 3 half caramels. These should be the soft, chewy, candy caramels. Roll it into a ball and then put it on the baking sheet. You can fit about 6 of these baseball size cookies. We found that the best way to cook these and keep them nice and soft was to freeze them for a few minutes. So after I shape them, I'm going to get them into the freezer for about 15 minutes, and then you bake them straight from the freezer. If you like them super chewy and less cooked, you can actually freeze them all the way through. Sort of depends on exactly how underbaked you like your cookies. We're going for baked, but still slightly chewy. Right before you put them in the freezer, start preheating your oven. You want it at 375 degrees. Okay, get these into the freezer. Okay, so just get these into the oven at 375 and bake them for 10 minutes, and then reduce the heat to 350 and bake until the top is just set, about 7 to 10 minutes more. Remember I said they were going to be big? Does this cover up my face? Look at that. That's an amazing, humongous cookie. Caramel is still soft in the center, chewy, crispy on the edges. You see that? This cookie is so good. You should share it with friends, but you're probably going to want to keep them all to yourself. Enjoy.